So we are now into mid-September of 2021, and the Rangers have been playing quite well recently. They are sitting at 74 and 78 on the year, kind of screwing their draft position yet again, at 8-2 in their last 10, so it is good to see that the young guys have been playing well, but once again, screwing the draft position. And then we also have a couple more injuries to go over, because what would this series be without more injuries? Nick Solak is out for the rest of the year with a fractured leg. He finishes the year with an 800 OPS, exactly 800, 15 home runs, 20 doubles. Definitely a much better year for Solak this year, and he has really stood out as a guy who is going to be a big part of this team heading forward. Sam Huff out with a broken forearm for the rest of the year. He struggled quite a bit in his rookie season. He had 2 really good months and then just a lot of pure garbage. He only finished with a 650 OPS, only 9 home runs. So Sam Huff is a guy who is looking to improve at the plate heading into next season. And because of these injuries and some guys up in September call-ups, we have some new local lineups. Take a look at them. You'll notice that Daniel Robertson's going to be getting some time in left field. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is now the catcher, while Yerman Mercedes moves to the DH spot. Sherten Apostol is playing right field. Albert Almora and Leody Taveras are both riding the pine because both have struggled quite a bit. Brendan Sanger was hot to start his call-up, but he has cooled off quite a bit, and then Joey Gallo is still turning things around as he almost has his OPS up to 800, which is good to see, because Gallo needs to turn things around, because he's going to want quite a bit of cash in the offseason next year. And about Gallo's contract and what he's going to want as relative to how he's performing, there's nothing I can do about that, because people have always been saying that I should lower his overall so he doesn't get as high of a contract offer. I can't. A big reason why his overall is so high is not because his power rating, it's because that he has 99 fielding reaction, arm strength, and arm accuracy. And fielding ratings really, really influence overall ratings in this game, which is why a big reason why, just because a guy's overall rating is higher doesn't mean he's going to perform better than another guy. And Gallo is still an exceptional fielder, so I'm not going to tank his fielding ratings just so he doesn't get as high of a contract offer. And there's no guarantee that that will even work either, as the game will probably still just be like, oh, the name Joey Gallo, that registers as something that's going to get a lot of money. And who knows? This is MLB The Show franchise mode. They haven't touched it since 2009. But anyways, I just felt like addressing that. I'm not going to be docking any of his ratings because it doesn't make sense to. And now let's hop into the games. The Texas Rangers playing host to the Toronto Blue Jays here at Globe Life Field, and on the hill for the Rangers is the lefty Kolby Allard, who through 16 starts still has a sub-2 ERA, which is absurd. And he's opposed by the flame-throwing righty in Nate Pearson, making his 31st start. So we'll start things off bottom half of the first inning. Ronald Guzman at the dish, rips the ball into right field, and then Nelson Cruz is playing right field for the Blue Jays, and he's not a great fielder, so that one gets past him up against the wall. Guzman's on second now, and then Joey Gallo comes to the plate, rips the ball into left center field. Guzman scores easily, and it's going to be an RBI double for Gallo, 1-0 lead for the Rangers. And then Kolby Allard went to work. He strikes out Nelson Cruz at the plate to end the second. In the top of the third, strikes out Teoscar Hernandez for out number 1, up and in fastball. Next batter up is Danny Jansen, going down on the down and inside changeup, and then after Vladdy gets a single, he would get Kevin Biggio to go down looking on the changeup as well. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Allard. Move things on to the top of the 5th. It's Nelson Cruz going down on the curveball at his feet, the back foot curveball. And then it's going to be Teoscar Hernandez whiffing through the down and away changeup, and then Danny Jansen grounding out to Terang at shortstop for the final out of the inning. So it's still a 1-0 game. As we move things on to the bottom of the 7th, Nate Pearson still on the hill for the Jays, but Josh Young, the future, is hitting a ball at the right center field, and he's not stopping at second. He's going to get those feet into third base with a triple to lead off the inning. So he's over on third. Nate Pearson will come out of the game. It was pitched quite well, but he is facing Kolby Allard, and his offense could not do anything as the soft-tossing lefty Tim Collins comes on against Yerman Mercedes, who crushes left-handed pitching and proceeds to do that here, hits one down the left field line. Interesting decision to bring in Tim Collins against the right-handed heavy portion of the lineup, as Mercedes drives in a run to make it 2-0. Move things on to the 8th as Cedeno, another lefty, comes on for the Jays, and Michael Brosseau does what he does, gets a hanging curveball, rips it right back up the middle. It's a base knock for Brosseau, so he's on first. Now with 2 outs, it's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa popping one up into right field, and it's Nelson Cruz out there. Just completely misplays this one, as that's going to allow Brosseau to score from first base, and Falefa's on second now as it's a 3-0 lead for the Rangers, and Josh Young's back at the dish. He's going to smack one out to center field. That'll score Falefa from second base. It's now a 4-0 lead for the Rangers, a non-save situation in the 9th inning, so Jonathan Hernandez, the September call-up, comes on to try to end this game, but with 1 out, he would walk Biggio, and then it would be George Springer at the plate, hits one just barely fair down the left field line into the corner, and it's going to be second and third with 1 out for the Blue Jays. They don't want to intentionally walk Gurriel to put the tying run at the plate, so instead they pitch to him, and Gurriel makes them pay. A 3-run blast over the left center field fence. It's now a 1-run ball game as Jonathan Hernandez could not get the job done, so Brett Martin has to come on to clean up the mess, and the first batter he's facing is Bo Bichette. Goes down on a filthy slider for out number 2, and then it's the left-handed hitter of Rowdy Tellez, who has no chance against the slider of Brett Martin, grounds one off the end of his bat, and that's going to be the end of the ball game as the Texas Rangers avoid the disastrous 9th inning as they hold on to win this one 4-3 over the Toronto Blue Jays here at home as Colby Allard gets his win. He went 7 innings strong, only gave up 4 hits, struck out 8 batters, no earned runs, and only 1 walk on the day as he continues to be lights out for this Rangers ball club. Colby Allard really showing himself to be a legit force in our rotation. Josh Young, the young third baseman, picks up 3 hits on the day, one of them being a triple. Yerman Mercedes had 2 doubles on the day, and then also Ronald Guzman had a double in this 4-3 victory for the Texas Rangers. Now the Rangers head out east to take on the Philadelphia Phillies in some interleague baseball, as on the hill for the Phillies will be the right-hander in Zach Wheeler, making his 24th start of the season for the Phillies, and opposing him will be Kyle Cody, who his chugging monsters has not helped him this season, almost a 6 ERA, which is not good at all. So bottom of the first inning, Nick Williams getting things started for the Phillies, going down the right field line, just barely fair and over the fence, but it's a home run nonetheless, a 1-0 lead for the Phils. Move things on to the bottom of the second. Freddie Galvis is going to hit a ball at the left center field. Eric Jenkins, the September call-up, laying out for it, making the diving play, robbing Galvis of extra bases. And then he would come up to the plate in the 3rd inning, as he comes up and smacks a ball at the right center field. Nobody's getting to that one, and it's going to hit off the bottom of the wall, and it's going to be a easy triple for Eric Jenkins and his fleet feet, so he's over on 3rd, and then Kyle Cody, the pitcher, lays down a bunt that drives in Jenkins, and we have ourselves a tie ball game. Move things on, bottom of the 3rd, Gene Segura rips one up the middle. That's a base knock with 1 out. And then later in the inning, it would be Rhys Hoskins coming to the dish, gets a hanging curveball, and he pulverizes that one into the left field seats. A 2-run blast, and the Phillies are right back on top, 3-1. Move things on top of the 4th as the Rangers will not go away. Michael Brosseau draws himself a walk, and then with 2 outs, it's Yerman Mercedes smacking one out to right center field. It's going to get down into the gap, and Brosseau is going to score from all the way from first base. An RBI double for Mercedes makes it a 3-2 ball game, but then it's right back to being a 2-run lead as Realmuto homers in the 4th inning to make it a 4-2 ball game for the Phillies. Then we move things on to the bottom of the 5th, where Merrill Kelly came on for the Rangers, and he would work a scoreless first inning of work in the 5th as he strikes out Hoskins to end the inning, and then he stayed on for the 6th, and he would work a scoreless 6th as well, getting Culberson to ground out to the second baseman. And then we move things on to the top of the 7th. Jenkins at the dish yet again, bloops one down the left field line. He's rounding first, thinking about 2, but decides to hold up, and it would end up being the right decision as then Guzman came on to pinch hit for the pitcher, and the first pitch he sees is absolutely cranked into the right field seats. Ronald Guzman, a pinch hit 2-run blast, ties the game up at 4. And it's not a good start for Zach Wheeler as he blows his win. And Drew Storen comes on out of the bullpen for the Phillies now, and with 2 outs, it's Michael Brousseau doing what Michael Brousseau does. Chops one up the middle, it's going to be a base knock. So he keeps the inning alive. Next batter up is Willie Calhoun, and Big Willie off the IL, ripping one into right center field, or right field more like it, and just barely scrapes the wall, but it's a home run nonetheless. A 2-run blast, and the Rangers storm back to take the win, or the lead, as it's a 6-4 Rangers lead now, and then Brett Martin would secure the win as he gets the pinch-hitting Bryce Harper to ground out to Apostle at first base, and that is your final score. 6-4, the Texas Rangers come out on top in this interleague matchup, rocking the old-school Washington Senators uniforms, and a very surprise player of the game honors goes to Eric Jenkins. He had 4 hits on the day, 2 singles, a triple, and a double, scored twice on the day. Merrill Kelly gets the win, Drew Storen gets the loss, and Brett Martin picks up yet another save on the season for the Rangers. So with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Texas Rangers franchise. The next episode will be the off-season video. So I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I am saying, I can't think of absolutely anything to end the video with.